am back with more yapping. We're gonna yap some more, okay? In the spirit of February coming up, I decided that it would be very fun to talk about movies that you should watch on or for Valentine's Day. If you have a partner, if you don't have a partner. This is kind of like an anti-Valentine's Day thing, but also Valentine's Day for the freaks. If you got a little freak partner, watch these movies with them, okay? I do want to preface that these are not all of them are complete like horror. Some of them are more thriller or just like quirky. Just not a typical Valentine's Day Hallmark movie. Anyway, let's get into it. I am gonna start with one that literally has Valentine in the name. My Bloody Valentine, of course. This is a classic horror, classic slasher, if you will. This came out in 2009, so this one is an oldie but a goodie. I can't even remember the last time I watched this movie. Probably like 2013, 2012 was the last time I watched it. I'm gonna add this to my own list to watch because I need a refresher on it. What I do remember is that there was a mining accident and this guy comes back to life-ish like a ghost, and he decides to kill a bunch of his friends on Valentine's Day. So, you know, fuck Valentine's Day. I remember it being like really, like I remember the gore being pretty crazy. I remember it being very gory back then. But like I said, I haven't watched it in a while, so now I'm gonna have to rewatch it and see if the gore is as bad as I thought it was when I was younger. But it is about Valentine's Day. Add it to your list. Okay. All right, moving on. Okay, this one is also really good for Valentine's Day. Let me tell you why this one is good for Valentine's Day. We got Gerald's Game, a Stephen King classic that was done by Netflix, actually. The premise of this movie is a couple who is getting a little freaky and they're doing a little freaky time in bed. And well, she's cuffed to the bed and her husband dies and she's trapped there. And that's all I'll tell you. You gotta watch this with your significant other and do not try it at home. Or do. Safety first, okay? Safety first. Get a little kinky, but be safe about it. This Valentine's Day. Moving on. This is totally Valentine's Day vibes, okay? And it's a classic. Bride of Chucky. We love Jennifer Tilly. I don't know who doesn't love Jennifer Tilly. She's an icon. She's everything. This is like probably my favorite of the Chucky franchise. Just because, I don't know. We just love a woman. We just love a woman that's crazy and will do anything for love, don't we? If you haven't seen it, it's okay. All you need to know about the Chucky lore, he's a guy. He's a really bad guy. He's a murderer who died, and now he haunts a doll, basically. So Jennifer Tilly's character is one of those hybristophiliacs that are obsessed with, serial killers. She wants to be with him, and anyway, she does all her voodoo doo-doo and makes that happen. Two crazy people together, shit's gonna get wild. For our feral freaks. All these movies are like for the freaks. Is this horror movies for the freaks to watch for Valentine's Day? I don't know, what do we title this? Freaky movies for the freaks for Valentine's Day. Sorry. Moving on. Oh, you thought I was gonna go through this whole video without an honorable mention. Think again. I know I made a video talking about this movie, which I'm gonna shamefully plug it. Hey, go watch my Nosferatu review. It is the epitome of a great spooky horror Valentine's movie, okay? It's all about love. It's all about, well, not typical love, but obsession, desire, passion. It has all of that, and it's scary, and it's lovely, and it's beautiful. If you haven't seen it at this point, please do me a fucking favor and go watch it. Yearning. This movie is the epitome of yearning. I couldn't not mention it. Okay, like I said, not all of these are typical horror movies, okay? The Crow. The whole premise of this movie is about a guy who, him and his fiance both get schmurdered. I don't know why I said schmurdered, like it matters. We've been talking about feral, kinky murdering. Anyway, a crow. I love crows, sorry. A crow, as they say, people once believed that when someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it and the soul can't rest. Then sometimes, just sometimes, the crow can bring that soul back to put the wrong things right. And that's on quote. So the crow basically brings him back to life to come and avenge death and the death of his fiance. And it's just so beautiful because it's like every woman desires to have a man that will literally create chaos and get the revenge for them that they need. True justice through love. It's a please, if you haven't seen The Crow, I don't know what's wrong with you. R.I.P. Brandon Lee. And do not, I'm gonna crash out if I say this, but do not watch the remake, okay? I know, we love Bill Skarsgård. Yes, we love Bill Skarsgård. We love Nosferatu, okay? But watch the original. Watch the original. Don't watch the remake, please. Okay? And that's all I'll say on that. Alright, okay. Now, this movie is a little strange. A little quirky, a little it's kind of a trip, to be honest. The Hunger. It's a vampire movie, to give you a little insight. But it's not like typical vampires. It's an older movie. It's in the 80s. I'm a lover of 80s everything. And David Bowie. David Bowie's a star in this. The premise is that David Bowie, he is the lover of this vampire woman, and he's kind of deceived into thinking that he's also gonna be able to live forever, and he's not because she's like, I'm kind of over you. I need somebody else. Like, yeah, we're in love or whatever, but I'm looking for somebody else. The plot's kind of it's so 80s, and I loved the music and the cinematography. It's just it's that edgy gothic 80s vibe. So just go into it a little open-minded because it's not a typical vampire movie, and it's more of a love triangle than anything. But yes, enjoy. This one, again, not a horror movie, but it's also a typical lovey-dovey dark gothic vibe, and that would be Phantom of the Opera. Also, okay, I know that a lot of us have seen this. We wish that she would have picked the Phantom, but it's fine. That's just us in our dark energies wanting to always pick the villain. Anyway, gorgeous aesthetics to it. There's beautiful music. It is a very romantic movie, very dark. Again, not horror, but that gothic darkness to it. So that's why I'm adding it to this list. I also just want to know the masquerade part. His fit. The Phantom in the red getup. I'm barking, I'm meowing, I'm purring. Okay, we can all fawn over the Phantom or over Christine, whichever you prefer, both for me, but anyway, let's go to the next. Not horror, quirky though, very quirky. The Love Witch. I love this movie. It's, again, kind of a trip. But it has a lot of symbolism, and it is more on the take of like feminine energy and kind of like a woman's outlook on what a man wants. I would say feminist film. Like, I've never done acid, but this movie makes it feel like you're on it when you're watching it. I'm gonna assume that's what acid is like. This movie was made in 2016, but it totally feels like it was like an old movie. Like, it feels like it's from the 70s because it's like kind of graininess and like special effects and stuff. It just feels like it's an older film. Elaine is so beautiful. She is so gorgeous. Samantha Robinson, drop dead gorgeous. It's about a witch that, of course, wants to seduce men, and she wants to find the love of her life. But when she quickly discovers that, you know, when men are vulnerable, it's too powerful for them to be vulnerable. So they end up, not everybody loves it though. That's the thing. It's like, not everybody's gonna love this movie because it is so strange and just artsy. It's very artsy. So not everyone likes it, but I think it's iconic and I love the visuals, that feeling of rustic witchiness. I would say this is more for like single ladies, single men that want to partake in watching like the search of love type vibe with a little darkness, but not too much. Yeah. Okay, now these last movies I'm gonna mention are new ones that are coming out that, of course, I haven't seen, but maybe that you want to go see them for Valentine's Day. The first one is coming out on January 31st. That is Companion. This one looks really interesting. I saw the trailer for it, and it was like about like a android robot that's supposed to be a companion. And this guy has her, and things get a little crazy. She goes a little rogue, it seems, which kind of, I like these more AI-ish movies that are coming out, like Subservience and, you know, all these ones that have to do with robot companions or whatever, because legit, it's in line with things right now. I don't know if y'all have seen, they're actually making like robots that you can. Anyway, so I thought this one would be cool. The other one that is also coming out, and this one isn't obvious, is Heart Eyes. This one is a total slasher film. This one is coming out in February. I don't know which day, maybe on Valentine's Day, but yeah, totally about Valentine's Day, slashers. It kind of gives me the same vibe as My Bloody Valentine, but we will see. Yeah, I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day. Whether you are spending this Valentine's Day alone or with a loved one, I hope it is horrific. Pun intended. Sorry. Yeah, that's basically all I had to talk about and yap about. So let me know if you watch them. Let me know what you're doing for Valentine's Day. Let me know if you're gonna be alone. And let me know what else you want to see, because I'm brainstorming some video ideas and I can't wait to create more for you. Okay? Bye.